gentlemen, to part 1 with commentary of my long play of Postal Redux, knee deep in the dead playthrough trophy hunt. Let's crack on. This is just something that is new and it's unscripted. It's something I'm going to try out on a few of the shorter games that I play from here on. Things like Postal and the next video that I'm hopefully going to be uploading soon. I thought I'd add some commentary after the fact for those that like to listen to the faceless guy at the other end of the screen ramble on while playing his video game. And obviously leave the original long plays intact with no commentary over the top, so people could actually sit there and enjoy the game for what it is without listening to some British twat waffle over the fucking top while shooting people in video games. But yeah, this is unscripted. This is something completely new that I've just thought about this morning that I would try, because it's a small channel. I know not many people watch, but for those that do, I thought you might enjoy it and get to know me a little bit, and perhaps if you comment and things like that, I might get to know a few of you in the comments. But yeah, like I said, no script in hand, just a can of Guinness next to me and a cigarette in the ashtray and watching along, waffling on with you. So yeah, let's crack on. Enough intro, and let's just watch the game, I suppose. Yeah, I hate that weapon, that machine gun, that basic one that you start with at the start of the game. It's like later on, like into the long play and things like that later on, it is the most useless piece of crap you'll ever use, and the game unfortunately always seems to like auto swap to it when you run out of ammo. Oh, I do like the execution with it though. It's adequately brutal for what it is. For such a nasty game, it is kind of funny. Which, yeah, in fact, I'll address that elephant in the room now for those that have never played this game. This game is, well, was, should I say, very, very controversial in the fact that really you're just a madman running around spraying everybody down, being probably a monster, to be honest, in most people's eyes. And yeah, I 100% agree. Postal is a game where you are not the good guy whatsoever. You are an absolute monster that runs through levels and just kills the crap out of everything. Postal 2 is completely different. You can somewhat be passive in that one, and you can wait in line, and a lot of the like crappy stuff that sort of happens around you and you have to react. But Postal 1 is not like that at all. There is no choice to it really. The only choice that you, and there's some of these music in between the missions are awesome, but yeah, like I was saying, some of the only choices that you really get to make in this game are sort of like whether or not to spare civilians. And in all honesty, because the way that they're like placed around the map, oh, that's brutal, that one. It's very difficult not to actually kill some of the civilians, because eventually I want to go for that trophy as well. The reason I decided on going through it this time and killing absolutely everybody, no mercy style, is because there's a trophy related to it called Knee Deep in the Dead. And obviously now that I'm doing this commentary over the top and both parts are out, you know I've got that trophy. But yeah, it was a lot harder than you'd think though, to absolutely mow down everybody by the end. Like, I swear, the more you go out your way to kill civilians, the worse this game gets. Or at least it feels that way anyway. But yeah, like I was saying, I might run through it at some point and try and go with killing absolutely no civilians and only hostiles, which again, like I was saying, because they always get in your bloody way, would be quite a difficult task actually. So that would probably be down the future, because in all honesty I've got another game that I want to play after I finish doing the commentary for these, but it looks absolutely awesome. I'm hoping that after you've listened to this, and perhaps if you haven't subscribed yet, you've subscribed, you'll stick around and check that one out when it comes out. And for those of you that are listening that are already subscribed, I hope you're looking forward to it, because yeah, it's a game I've completely slept on actually, in all fairness. I've never even really heard of it before now, but absolutely awesome. So yeah, once the video's done you'll understand what I'm talking about, but I'll leave it cryptic until now. But yeah, this game, oh, I love this. When you set yourself on fire, you can sort of run into people and sort of share the pain, so to speak, and set them on fire as well. It actually helps you out a lot in some of the later missions when it comes to like the military and the likes like that. Because yeah, fire is, it says it in some of the loading screens, is a great equalizer, and it straight up isn't lying. Because when you start coming up against like the absolutely auto shotguns and like turrets and missile launchers constantly and all, yeah, fire will get you out of some absolutely sticky jams. But early on in the game, if you want to be boring, you could probably just mow through them with this machine gun like I'm doing now. But yeah, I quickly learned to switch to the shotgun more often, because it's far better. Whenever I got ammo for that, I pretty much never seen me use this bloody awful machine gun. Yeah, nice try, mate. Share the pain, boy. I live, you die. That was a good job the health pack was there though, like bloody hell. Yeah, I played through each of these levels kind of like painstakingly to sort of figure out which was the best route to kill everybody and still make it enjoyable to watch. So yeah, what you're seeing level to level, I've actually played through this game before this long play now, just to see what, but how obviously each level would play out and what you're going to do and everything like that. But yeah, this is pretty much though only like my second playthrough of this game like properly, because I've played Postal 2. I found that one quite fun, going around just pissing on people and like setting people on fire and all. You're a monster, but it's an absolute cartoon. But Postal 1, they've done the Redux on the PlayStation. I bought it like 6 months ago, I suppose now, something like that. And yeah, I played it a little bit, thought it was pretty fun for a twin stick shooter, and sort of forgot about it a little bit. Because again, it doesn't have quite the same charm as the second one. But there is one thing about this game that is really intriguing compared to the second one. This game is absolutely dark, especially by the end. Like, if you stick with me and like join me in part 2 of the commentary, you'll see the ending when it plays itself out. But there's one piece in that ending of the second one, or not the second one, sorry, the second part, that is just, oh mate, the imagery is just so brutal. And this has come from someone that pretty much grew up as a kid watching horror movies, and yeah, pretty much never really been interested in anything kiddie. Like, horror is my absolute favourite sort of genre, so I'm desensitized to all shit is probably the best way to put it. I was born and raised in like the 90s and early 2000s, so as you can imagine, I'm not the most sensitive soul on earth. But yes, some of the stuff that you can do in this game is absolutely manic, especially some of the executions. You'll see them as they sort of play themselves out, and I'll comment on them. But yeah, you see that with the fire. You set me on fire, I'll bring it back, you little twat. Couldn't quite get him, unfortunately. Yep, he's an absolute goner now. But yeah, rather than cradling this can again, so I may as well crack she open. And don't you dare fizz. Nope. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to humour anybody and let anybody know what Guinness is. I'm pretty sure anybody who's watching, especially a Postal video, is old enough to understand what a Guinness is. But yeah, I haven't drank any of these in ages. I'm usually more of like a hobgoblin kind of guy, or a whiskey. But yeah, I was walking around the Tesco's earlier on doing some shopping and things, and thought, yeah, it's a Saturday night, why not? Oh, speaking of it being a Saturday night, that does remind me, if there's any sort of banging or voices or anything in the audio, my neighbour, he's a good dude, but he's very loud. And yeah, being it though it's a Saturday, he's pretty into like his EDM music and things like that, so you may eventually hear something faintly in the background to do with that. Hopefully not, but if you do, just an apologies in advance. Yeah, goodbye chat. Wait, how do you think you're crawling to? Yeah, no chance. And that's that level 100% exterminated. Yeah, that auto shotgun, the one to the right of the sawed-off shotgun, is amazing. It's one of the best weapons in the game, I find, or at least the most fun to use, but you barely get any ammo for it. Yes, don't worry, no one's going to turn you off. Yeah, some of the little quips that the Postal dude will make while changing weapons, picking up ammo and the like that is it's pretty funny. The dude that does his voice is awesome. It's the same guy that does his voice in Postal 2. But here's a fun little bit of trivia. I've never actually played the original Postal. I've only played the Redux, which is basically the original Postal, but put in the Unreal Engine and sort of touched up with the sprites and stuff. But yeah, the very original Postal, I'm not entirely sure if he does the voice in that one or not. Here's more of that messed up imagery and his little diary entries. Yeah, some of these are like that proper 90s edge. They're so brutal. Oh, I love this bit. There's something so evil but sadistically fun about this. And it's not like the game wants you to shy away from doing that neither. They're like there in your face. And it is a game called Postal at the end of the day. You understand what it's all about when you boot the game out. If you don't, then it's not really a game for you to play.
They'll all pay.
Yeah, that they do, I suppose. Because like I've said, this is already finished. This is after the fact commentary, so I have finished the game, killing literally every single person in every single map, start to finish. And holy shit, that last mission, wow, brutal. Goodbye chat. Yeah, that's one of my favourite executions in the whole game, just because of how like they did the sprites where like the head comes off and stuff. It's kind of like Manhunt levels of satisfying to see, as fucked up as that is to say. But yeah, I'm not an absolute psycho or nothing like that. That's something that I will get out of the way, just because I played like games like Postal and Manhunt, and I like all the gore and all. Like I'm saying, I've been a horror fan since I was a child. I'm very desensitized to that sort of thing, and I can separate like fiction and fact. I'm not the sort of person that would ever condone this sort of behaviour in real life, like pretty much 99% of the population. But in a video game, I can just turn that off and just absolutely mow everybody down with absolute glee, and I don't feel a goddamn thing. So I guess in a sense, you straight up embody the Postal dude, just an absolute psychopath who gives absolutely no shits about anybody, start to finish. So yeah, I guess in that aspect they kind of nailed that sort of player and avatar sort of link, I suppose. Especially in a game with such dark subject matter as Postal of all bloody things. Yeah, this little gun here, from what I can gather just listening to it before I even picked up the Redux and stuff like that, figuring out exactly what was changed and whatnot. This little pistol that I'm using here, the revolver, wasn't actually in the original. But in this one, holy Christ, it is super powerful. But again, you have to be laser accurate with it. If your little reticle hasn't turned green over a person, odds are you're not going to hit them with it. So, yeah, it's a reasonably pain in the ass weapon to use, but bloody powerful nonetheless. Yeah, this is what I mean about like that auto shotgun. Barely any ammo for it, but my god, when you fire it, it's satisfying.
They'll all pay.
Get down. Yeah, why that went past him, I have no idea. I couldn't believe it, but at least he ended up killing himself with his splash damage when he shot at me. Yeah, some of the rockets, there can be like homing missiles or straight missiles, and what you see here while playing the game, you can see my ammo count and the different ammos and stuff like that. But while I'm actually playing the game, my TV, for some reason, the aspect ratio, and I've tried to change it, cuts them off just. So the entire game, when you see me using any weapon, I'm guessing how much ammo I've got by like how much I've slaughtered and picked up throughout the game. So yeah, occasionally you'll see me think, oh, I've got an ammo like a shotgun, and then I'll like use the machine gun and I'll fire like one pellet at them. Life is cheap, death is free. Act now. Supplies are limited. Offer void in Arizona. Yeah, I can only see like the screen's halfway, and then it's got my audio thing on the other half. So yeah, it's smaller for me than it is for you. Yeah, nice try. Stop shooting at me, you little dickhead. Ugh, savage. Yeah, these you only get a couple in the game that are like this, that are like straight up top down rather than isometric. I actually found these to be some of the harder ones. Because again, things like that, you don't necessarily see them as well as you think you would under like the rafters because of the top down, but in isometric you probably would have. But they are a nice little change of pace, these top down levels. I'll give them that at the very least.
Help me.
Burning that cigarette. There you are. Yeah, this bit here was kind of brutal, to be honest with you. At least I found it to be pretty brutal.
Just leave me alone. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, no one's gonna get out of this situation, I'm sorry. Knee deep in the dead trophy and all that. It's gold, bro. And I'm a bit of a trophy whore, I can't help myself. It's like you'll find that in most games. If I've played a game on here, I've probably already played it, or I've at least practiced it a little bit. It's like I was saying earlier on about like the next sort of video that I want to put up. I haven't actually played that game more than like a brief little bit so far, but it's quite a short game from what I can see from reviews of it. But my god, from what I've played, it is super fun. So stay tuned for that one at least. I can't wait to play that one all the way through, to be frankly honest with you. But yeah, for what this game is, the little twin stick shooter and stuff, I haven't really played many of these in quite some time. As much as I like the old school shooters, I generally play stuff more like Duke Nukem or Doom and things like that if I was going to play an old school retro shooter. But yeah, this isometric shooter is not nearly as egregious as you'd think it would be to play going back to it, but that might be me. I play a lot of like older PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 era games, so maybe I'm on a boat with that or an eye with that one, but I actually found it quite a nice change of pace from what I've been playing a lot of like Grand Theft Auto and all lately. So to play something that's a little less strenuous and open-ended, I guess, would be the way to say it, was kind of liberating, especially considering the subject matter of the game where you literally are the last man standing by the end, so you can take out everybody and just walk around this map with like carefree, stress-free. That's pretty liberating in its own little way. Yeah, I didn't realise that you couldn't shoot past the car while doing that. Yeah, there's certain things that you will walk into while playing this game if you actually give it a shot for yourself that you would be surprised that the hitbox is so wide, or surprised that there's no hitbox at all. Like going over that little thing a minute ago, I would have thought that it would have hit that for the most part, but it went right over it. But yet other times you would assume that it would go over the top and it would just explode in your damn face. So it can be hit or miss like that. Goodbye, chat. Yeah, you want to hit those barrels wherever possible. They're real fun, especially considering they put it in the Unreal Engine. Some of the like sprite work for it is really cool to look at.
Shots fired.
Yeah, no chance, chap. Oh, I didn't even even watching it back now. I still didn't see where that one come from. Not anymore, chap. Not anymore. Snap. Yeah, some of the little situations you get yourself in like that, where like you got missiles coming at you and you're shooting at them. The splash damage, thank God, does more damage to them than it does to you. But I tell you now, like, playing through this game, it will kick your ass. There's a trophy for beating this game on nightmare difficulty. What you're seeing here is just the normal standard difficulty, because I'm not a bitch. I'm not going to put it on easy, but they're not. Oh mate, consider how hard some of these levels got to kill like everybody in them and stuff by the end, especially that final one. My God, beating that on nightmare is going to be absolutely insane. If I'm feeling brave in the future, I might do another video on that at some point down the line, but I don't want to do the same thing, because again, I've done like the long play of this, and now I'm going to obviously finish and upload the long play with the commentary of this. I don't want to upload it for a third time right after it. I've got other stuff I'd like to do realistically, but yeah, when it comes time to actually doing that, that's going to be, oh, absolute nightmare. But part of me is intrigued by the challenge. That's coming from the same asshole that gets a kick out of playing like Dark Souls and like Hotline Miami and things like that. So, in all fairness, yeah, I kind of like bashing my head against the wall until I get it right. As angry as that makes me. I think that's why I was always drawn to like stealth games and things like that in particular, because they're so trial and error. If you make one mistake, like another game I haven't actually played on this channel yet, but I'm a huge fan of, is a game called Styx, Master of Shadows. It's made by Cyanide Studios, I believe, but it's like a AA, I guess. Exterminated boy. Goodbye. Yeah, it's a AA game, I guess you would call it. So like mid-tier developers and whatnot. But it's a proper stealth game in the truest sense of the word. Oh, this mission was pretty cool. But yeah, true stealth game. But you play as like this little goblin, and you're after something called like the Amber, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I played it now, but yeah, you got to make your way to this like hourglass, and it's got like elves and like big castles and stuff. It's proper fantasy, but it's like adult fantasy, if that makes sense. Kind of like in the same way Game of Thrones is, but it's far more fantasy than that. But oh mate, I love that game. I love the sequel as well. And there's like a little bit of rumours now that someone was saying to me about on Reddit the other day about them bringing out another one, or the studio working on another one within the same universe of the Styx. Oh, brutal, man. Every time you do that, even now it's still brutal. Yeah, they're bringing out another one, and I honestly can't wait for that. In fact, I might play Styx through on this channel at some point, but it is a hardcore stealth game. Like, you will die in the combat. If you get stuck in the open, you are a dead man. But it's a damn good bit of fun, but at the minute I'm kind of on a shooter rush, so the next couple videos that you're going to see uploaded to the channel are going to be shooter-based video games, to be honest with you. But yeah, I kind of go in cycles like that. I'll get times where I'll be absolutely just fascinated and enamored with like shooters, and I'll play every single like shooter that I've got in my library and re-download them and discover some new ones and things. And then I want to play stealth games. Then I'll fancy playing like RPGs, and I go in like 6 months to like year-long cycles. It's strange like that. It's like RPGs and stealth were my first love in video games, and like old school shooters are sort of like my mistress that I like to go out and see occasionally. And
feels good.
Yeah, they're always good fun when you blast through them. It's like, again, another one that I was mentioning earlier on, that Duke Nukem 3D. I absolutely adore that shooter, man. I remember playing that game when I was a little kid. Like, me and my brother and my neighbour across the road. His older brother used to have it on like PlayStation 1, like the Duke Nukem 3D game. And my mate would bring it over and put it in his pocket and like sneak it away from his brother. Not even the case, just in his pocket. And then he would come over to our house, and then we'd go up in the little bedroom and stick it in our little like PlayStation 1 Slim. And we'd be there just like throwing pipe bombs and stuff like that at aliens while listening to Duke Nukem like quip at people and stuff. Like, that is nostalgia, man. But unfortunately, Randy Pitchford is an evil scumbag, and Gearbox are a piece of crap company, so that game, well, franchise should I say, not game, the game will always live on, but that franchise unfortunately is pretty much dead. So any of the younger viewers, which considering the games that I play, not very many of you, but any of the younger viewers that I do have don't know who Duke Nukem is. He's basically an absolute male power fantasy turned up to 11 in an old school build engine shooter. It is unadulterated, unapologetic fun, like start to finish. Even like the more, I don't know what you would call them, but more like level-oriented, sort of more gamey versions of them, like Land of the Babes and Time to Kill. They were back in the PlayStation 1 as well. I remember in fact, I've still got my copy of Time to Kill on PlayStation 1, like sat here in a box somewhere in my collectibles. But it's such a cool franchise, and the last time you ever seen him was in Bulletstorm War games, which, yeah, I would give it a meh. The shoot mechanics were cool. Some of the the effects when you like kick people into like cactuses and stuff were fun as anything, but the game itself, no, it doesn't quite capture that same feeling as the old school shooters. But I think the best modern shooter to get the old school shooter vibe in the game would probably be Doom, like 2016. Doom Eternal 2 actually is pretty damn good. It's different than Doom 2016, like you can't rely on the shotgun nearly as much, but it's a damn good shooter nonetheless. So yeah, the genre is still going good, and in fact I think id Software, they were some of like the originals back in the day on a lot of these old school shooters, so they've been around a very, very long time. So if they haven't perfected it by now, they never bloody will. But unfortunately, they're under the blanket of Bethesda now, and being a PlayStation gamer and Bethesda being bought out by Microsoft, God knows what's going to happen to the future of all that. So I'm pretty worried about the Elder Scrolls 6 of all bloody things. Because I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan. I've played that game to absolute death. Like, you wouldn't believe it. As a teenager, I pretty much killed Oblivion for myself. I can't even go back and play it much anymore. I've beaten that game with every race that you could think of, every character build you can think of, every sort of like morality you could think of. I've done everything. Same with Skyrim, and Skyrim's nowhere near as open-ended as Oblivion is. It's like a lot of people who only ever played Skyrim and never played Oblivion, some of the younger people wouldn't really understand a lot of the features that were cut between the games. But then saying that, Oblivion was my first Elder Scrolls, and the Elder Scrolls before that, Morrowind, was
Feels good.
even more like in depth and hardcore for like the RPGs with like the bloody Christ, that's Guinness for you, boy. No, the dice roll, that's the one. There you go. See. My brain will get there eventually. Hey, don't judge me, I'm slow. But bloody, yeah, the dice roll mechanic of it when you're fighting people with swords and all, going back and playing that now is absolutely heinous, to be honest with you. But it's a hardcore RPG experience in the truest sense, so if you want to call yourself like a hardcore RPG player, you have to sort of experience some of these older RPGs. And if you wouldn't to trouble yourself and go back even further to an even more open-ended one, you could try out like Daggerfall game, which is like procedurally generated in a lot of parts of the game, pretty much endless. It's like the size of a country. Yeah, this level was fun as anything. But anyway, I'm rambling on about RPGs and stealth games, and we're here playing bloody Postal, for Christ's sake. Asshole, I didn't even see him. Even watching it back, I don't see him. Goodbye, chap.
Evil must die.
But yeah, I've got quite a few video ideas for this channel now. I know some of the ones that first started watching my videos were watching because of Manhunt and all, and don't worry, I do intend on going back and 5-starring the rest of the levels and recording them and all for everybody. Just, I don't know, when I was doing them, I sort of fell on a hard time halfway through and sort of lost the motivation and the will to really do any of it. And then it's been so long in between that a lot of the people that wanted to see them are no longer around, and I sort of moved on to other things. Oh, brutal. But make no mistake, Manhunt is a game that I will finish on this channel because it's absolutely hands down one of my favourite games ever made. Like, it's an absolute shame that Rockstar have abandoned it the way that they have. I can't believe that hit me. Yeah, screw you, you dickhead. Yeah, I can't believe that they've abandoned the game like they have. Don't get me wrong, I understand the hardship of making it with like GTA 5 or God forbid when they actually bring it out, GTA 6 graphics, like with the subject matter of the game. I understand. Yeah, that napalm launcher, by the way, is one of the worst weapons in the game. You won't see it used much. It is crap. But yeah, with all of the modern stuff, like if they did it like what they did with Red Dead 2 but with the Manhunt theme, I see it being rated adults only in most places and not being able to be sold on the PlayStation or Xbox store whatsoever, and it being an adults only job. Which I've got Manhunt on the PC anyway, so it's not like I couldn't still buy it on the PC as the adults only version. I don't really care. I'd still do it, but yeah, I could see why Rockstar, being the money grubby little bastards that they are, yeah, they wouldn't do that. It would just be a loss, especially when they can milk shark cards and gold bars until like the end of time. It's like I was really burnt. Like, you've probably seen, if you've been around this channel for a minute or two, videos I've done a couple on the definitive edition. In fact, I even did an entire playthrough of GTA 3, the original version, which in my opinion is straight up the definitive version. That definitive version that they released is a buggy piece of shit. I even started to like do a playthrough of it so people could watch like the original playthrough of the old one and then the new one and compare the two, sort of as like a time capsule in a way. But it just started breaking in missions, and like you would go invisible getting out of cars for like a second flat, and the pop-in was worse than the PS2 versions, which is fucking insane. Like, I can understand like the PS2 versions having pop-in. It's a concession I'll make. It's an old school game. Yeah, get out of my way, you little turd. Yeah. Oh, well, Splashdowns killed you too. But yeah, it's an old school game, so I can forgive it and understand it. But all they really did with the definitive edition was take the old code, smack it in Unreal Engine, get AI upscaling, and touch up a few bits. There is absolutely no reason that the game should be as broken as it is, and have as many pop-in and glaring issues as it does on the PlayStation 4, and God forbid on the PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox, because they're having more issues on those than they are the fucking PS4. And I'm still stuck with the PS4, because unfortunately getting a PS5, unlucky chap, is like getting rooster teeth at this point, even still. But I've got the money waiting for one, so once they actually do become available, I will have one, so it's really not a massive issue. But again, my point being is there is no excuse for that game to run as poorly as it does on new hardware. Even like the PlayStation 2 versions that are emulated on the PS4, which is the version that I played for my long play on here, because obviously I use SharePlay to record my footage and edit it and things like that, so it's really my only option. I don't have a capture card for like the PS2 and whatnot. But it had pop-in, sure, because it was emulating the original version, but played very well. Hardly any real game-breaking glitches and stuff. I made it to, I think it was the Cipriani chauffeur mission in GTA 3, the definitive edition, before the game just honestly was stuck in an endless state of being absolutely broken. And I haven't played the definitive edition now in about a week or so, even like to go back and just play it, just because I'm absolutely sick to death of that game, and I wasted 55 quid on it, pre-ordered it and everything. I was looking at it like, oh, it's Rockstar, mate, they're always pretty stellar. Yeah, the explosions are fun in this. Yeah, they're always pretty stellar, they got good releases, you know, Take-Two are money-hungry, greedy bastards, but at the same time Rockstar care. Little do we know that War Drum Studios rebranded Grove Street Games with the assholes that had their hands on this definitive edition. No wonder it turned out as crap as it did. If anyone here has actually played the Xbox 360 version of San Andreas and the PS3 remaster version of it, will understand that this studio have no business touching an open world game. They're only really known for making bloody mobile games of all things, which, yeah, mobile games can be fun, they can be time consuming and they can fill up your time, whatever, but they are not in-depth video games. They are not, I'm sorry, the platform is not quite there yet. It'll get there eventually, and it has some good ports of old proper games, but it's not quite there for that yet. But them being trusted to remake childhood classics like that, here comes another top-down bloody level. Yeah, to remake childhood classics like that and just butcher them to shit and then absolutely rob it. No wonder they didn't show gameplay footage of that fucking game, like on the lead up, and just rob people of the money like that. Hell, this is supposed to be commentary of a poster game for all I've done so far. Is whinge on about other games that I like in different genres and Grand Theft Auto or bloody thing. It's just raw in my blood at the moment. It annoyed me so much. It's like, I felt disappointed in quite a few games and let down, sure, but I don't rarely ever feel angry by them, because you can always go back, you know what I mean? But Grand Theft Auto Definitive, it actually made me angry, like my blood boil, which in a video game is very, very rare. Goodbye, chat. Yeah, for a video game to do that to me is very, very rare. And I have the originals. I've got the PS2 versions and the PS4 like digital versions, so it makes no bloody difference to me. They can't take the originals from me, but the butchery at play there, mate. You see what I mean by like weird? It should have hit that wall, I think, but again it went right over it. But if that was me shooting, I bet you it would explode as soon as it hit that goddamn wall. I ramble on so much, my cigarette keeps going out. Yeah, this bit coming up now I found to be kind of brutal even doing it, even in a video game. It's like, it's kind of mean. You'll see what I mean in a second. I guess it's not this bit just yet. Yeah, nice throw, asshole. Dickhead. I love that little chuckle that he'll make occasionally. Yeah, no chance, chap. No chance. 22 hostiles left. Population of 39. That's not too bad. In the last mission, the population is absolutely massive. It is like, the game will not hold your hand on that last mission whatsoever. Either you've learned how to play the game by that point, or you're going to get murked. And here's the bit I was talking about.
Now that's a firm stick.
There's something about this that felt morbid, even in a video game, which, again, like I said, I'm a desensitized shit. I could turn myself off. I don't care about killing NPCs and things like that. They get in the way, they die. They're ones and zeros at the end of the day, but yeah, it felt pretty brutal. But if any of you that are watching this have never actually played the game, I'm not sure if I could recommend it, but at the same time, it is a good lot of fun, but you have to be a particular kind of person. You have to enjoy sort of like that over-the-top shooter, and you have to be pretty turned off, like sensitivity-wise, to play a game like this. Otherwise you probably wouldn't finish it. You just kind of feel like it's repetitive and boring because all you're doing is murdering people and unjustifiable. So I guess it depends who you are. Me, like I said, I don't give a shit. I'll quite happily sit there and play Postal in my spare time if I fancy shooting a few people. It is what it is. It's a video game. Goodbye, buddy. But yeah, that is something to consider if you're watching this while thinking in the back of your mind about picking it up. Just ask yourself, are you interested in that sort of thing? And do you like over-the-top violence in movies and video games? And if you do, yeah, this game would be great. I'm sure you'll have a good deal of time out of it. It's a good time waster. But if, like, gore and things like that doesn't, like, I don't know, blow your whistle, so to speak, and you find that sort of stuff enjoyable, then yeah, it's not really for you. There's other twin-stick shooters that would fulfill the same thing, that are less heinous, I guess, would be the right word to say. Yeah, that animation is exactly the same as a bazooka, so you won't see me execute too many people with a napalm launcher. Again, useless piece of crap weapon. But yeah, it really boils down to that. It's like, I think back in the PS3 days, back when PSN got taken down years and years and years ago, they gave people a couple free games, and one of them free games was a game called Army Nation, I think it was called, or Army of the Dead. It was one of the two. And it was kind of like an isometric shooter like this too, but with zombies, and that was a good deal of fun. So I'm guessing if you wanted a game like that, seek that one out, I suppose, if you wanted it to be more justifiable in your head, if you're that sensitive. But again, if you're that sensitive, you probably just stay away from this, like even this video, watching it, to be honest. So yeah, it depends on you. Yeah, I like the fact that it's old school enough that you can overclock health and all as well. Is pretty useful. Yeah, no chance, chap. Goodbye. I didn't use that one nearly enough throughout the game, but I do actually kind of like that one. It's kind of cool. There's no escape, chap. Yeah, damn good shot if I say so myself. Again, rambled on, so my cigarette gone out again. But yeah, like I was saying at the start of this video, because again, I pretty much filled this video with like 20 minutes of rambling nonsense. So yeah, I'll explain for those of you that didn't get fed up with listening to my bloody voice and continued up to here. Yeah, I intend on a few of the shorter games that I cover doing this after the fact commentary and stuff for those that actually want to hear it. I'm hoping it's enjoyable. If you enjoy me rambling and things like that, let us know in the comments and all that lark and all that crap that YouTubers say. Just honestly, like, as straight out feedback, I don't get paid for this or nothing, so algorithm shit means nothing to me. I'd like people to find my channel and stuff, sure, but again, I don't get paid, so I'm not going to sit here and like slap that like button and fucking blah blah blah. I hope you do, and I hope you subscribe, but at the end of the day, I don't get paid. It makes no difference to me. I do this as a hobby and for fun. But yeah, if you do like this sort of extra after the fact commentary and listening to me ramble, let us know in the comments, and I'll continue to make a few more on some of the shorter games that I've still got the footage for, because again, I'm limited by a terabyte of memory, so I've got all my games installed on my PlayStation, and then the videos, and then the Share Factory rendered versions of the videos that are uploaded once they're finished editing and actually made. So it eats my memory like crazy. So a lot of like my GTA 3 playthrough and all has already been deleted off of the thing. Now it's been uploaded, so going back and doing commentary over that, I'd have to replay the entire game or download the videos from YouTube and do it from there. And to be honest, it's such a long game that I think listening to me ramble would be absolutely monotonous by the end. Hell, even talking by then would be monotonous, to be frankly honest with you. But yeah, some of these shorter ones, like the hour, 2 hour, 3 hour sort of games. Again, after the fact, once I've done the videos, I'm going to do my extra commentary. I'm hoping that it doesn't overshadow the long plays for those that just want to actually watch the game without listening to somebody. But again, for those that actually enjoy listening, or if it's in the background, or you just sort of checking the game out and want to hear some thoughts on it or whatnot, I'm hoping that this is the sort of thing that's for you. Yeah, I ended up getting stuck on the damn lamp there. Like, it's unclear sometimes which ones you'll get stuck on and what ones you won't, so it's kind of choose your poison and hope for the best in this game. And that is something about this game, actually. Walking through the end of a level after you've annihilated like every single buddy there, it is fucking eerie. Just that ambience, it's that noise. There's no jovial music, no nothing. And these, like I was saying earlier, these title screens in between each level are absolutely like proper 90s edgy shit. It's kind of brutal. To some of the madness that are written in them. Oh, this level was fun. I remember this one. Like, quite fondly. If I was going to go back and replay a level of Postal, it'd probably be this one. This one's fun. Yeah, that shotgun was like MVP of the entire playthrough. No night chat. Yeah, people always go on about like the Doom shotgun or the Duke Nukem shotgun and things like that, but damn, the shotgun in this is really, really good as well. Yeah, nice try, you idiot. Killed half your friends. Did me a favour. Yeah, and you're not going anywhere. With the civilians, as awful as it is to say out loud, you want to mow them down as quickly as humanly possible because they will scatter to like the outskirts of the map. And if you yourself are actually going or played this game and going for the knee-deep individual trophy, you'll know how much of a pain in the ass it is to scour the entire map looking for one NPC hiding in a bush somewhere from an isometric point of view. It's not much fun. So get them as quickly as you can. And yeah, there's a trophy related to gunning all of them down too, so being the trophy whore that I am, I couldn't help myself but go for it. Alright, buddy. Yeah, they are assholes, so blowing them up is quite cathartic in a way. There we go, got some shotgun ammo. Getting shot from out of view happens quite often as well. It is one of the downfalls of the game. And don't worry, buddy, I've seen you up there. I know for a fact I come for you. Yeah, you can't hide from me, buddy. I want that trophy. Well, I have that trophy, so it's no longer a case of wanting. But the mindset I was going for while playing through this at the time, yeah, I wanted that trophy. It was gold and shiny. And being the magpie that I am, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, shooting them is, oh, it's carnage. It is good fun. Like the explosions and then napalm dudes, mate. I'll tell you what, the napalm launcher in their hands is great, but in mine it is absolutely the most useless piece of crap in the game. Yeah, when in doubt, mate, rockets come out. Yeah, it's a good job I hung back here too, because if I got set fire at that point, I would have been, that would it. I'd have had to redown the level again. And, oh, goddamn. As fun as the level is, yeah, to do them quickly and enjoyably enough for people to actually watch and want to watch. Yeah, it can be kind of mind-numbing going back and back, finding the right route to kill everybody before they get a chance to scatter and ruin the video. But yeah, that's the monotonous behind the scenes sort of mindset behind it. Well, you don't need to worry about that sort of shit, that's down to me. Yeah, some of the artwork that they did for the buildings and all in this game is really impressive too. Like, it's cartoony, but yet really nice to look at, like a comic book almost. Construction site, blood splatters, splinters everywhere like a river flowing around me, pulling me in its wake. Paradise prepare for deconstruction. Oh, this mission, yeah, it's the last one of this part of the playthrough, but this one was fun. It was like balls to the walls. It was a good one to end this part of the long play on, I think. Like, personally, looking back on it now. Like, practicing the route for this level, it kicked my ass. Like, so many goddamn times. That it felt great to just run through and mow every one of these pricks down. Except the construction guys, I guess, they didn't do nothing wrong. But all the ones with the guns and the goddamn Molotovs and the rocket launchers, yeah, fuck them all. Yeah, some of the effects that are left on the map after you, like, all your carnage are really cool to look at. Like I was saying, it comes down to like the art style of the game, I guess, but it really does suit this sort of game in a way. Because I think if you made everything photorealistic, it would be no fun to play. But the cartoony design of it, but yet the dark tone, yeah, I think it melds together really well. Sort of like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit sort of thing, like a film about bloody cartoon characters with a sexualized rabbit, but it's such a good film at the end of the day. Like, it's still worth watching even to this day. And I think Postal is somewhat like that in itself. Like, it's an archaic game now compared to its contemporaries, but at the same time, it's good to revisit memory lane. Goodbye, buddy. There is no escape.
Proudly made in the USA, baby.
Yeah, that shotgun. I love that shotgun. I wish there was more ammo in the playthrough for it. I really do. Yeah, I couldn't be asked to execute them all here in a sec. So if you've already seen the long play without the commentary, you know that I just firebomb the shit out of these. Sometimes it's quicker than going over and getting shot while trying to perform an execution than you like, to be honest with you. Yeah, no chance.
A boomstick.
Yeah, there's a Molotov asshole just down out of camera view so far as well. Yeah, that asshole down there with the construction hat on. Luckily enough, I managed to take care of him. But yeah, in the practice run I did at this level a few times, he actually killed my ass a few times. So again, he's another one that felt good to get rid of. Yeah, I like to vary it up a little bit by changing weapons, and I do find the flamethrower one to be kind of cool. Really brutal and dark, but really quite cool. Especially when he quips when he's doing it. You'll hear it along the playthrough at some point, so I won't say it here, but yeah, it's kind of funny. In a morbid way. Yeah, no chance he got me that time, boy. Yeah, I made sure I squish his ass for killing me all those times. Goodbye, buddy. And yeah, the green shotgun ammo is for the riot shotgun, and the red one is for the double barrel shotgun. And yeah, there's not nearly enough green, unfortunately. Yeah, nearing the end of this level now as well. Yeah, what you don't see on screen is usually what kills you, is what I find. Unfortunately, it's a hang-up of old school games like this. It's like Hotline Miami worked its way around that one reasonably well by letting you move the camera from where you are and see most of the level and then snap back to yourself. So future iterations of this type of game have improved on it, so it's not like you're stuck with it. But yeah, these mines, more often than not, are kind of useless. You'll be surprised, you get some use out of it, but in all honesty, yeah, you want to stick with the Molotovs and grenades for the most part. But I did want the trophy for getting the kill with every single weapon, so I made sure to get at least a few throughout this playthrough. No, you're not, buddy. Again, useless napalm launcher, man, honestly. And you got to get 30 kills with that for a trophy in this game as well, which I still yet to get. I am going to just load into a level and just repeatedly suicide it and kill people with it though to get the trophy at some point. Yeah, no chance, buddy. Got the moves, boy. Yeah, that one there that I just shot, that fell behind the tree line. Trying to find the absolute last guy in a second after killing him. I didn't realise that he was bleeding out there, so I run around for about 30 seconds or so, just sort of trying to find him. So yeah, it's kind of a time waste at the end of this level, but I like that it turned out, so I didn't want to retry it and go for 100% again for another clip. I like that it turned out, so I'm hoping that you enjoyed it as well watching it. Again, let me know in the comments what you actually thought of this type of game, because I know a lot of people haven't even played this game in all honesty. It's kind of one of those niche, obscure games, so I like to sort of play those sorts of games, especially on this channel. Yeah, goodbye, buddy. I was tapping triangle to get the execution running through where I couldn't see, hoping for the best there. But yeah, that is the long play part 1 of Knee Deep in the Dead playthrough of Postal 1. I hope you enjoyed the commentary, and I'll see you again in part 2. Take care.